Welcome to a Legendarium special about the mysterious death of Vlad the Impaler. In 1462, during his second reign in Wallachia, Vlad the Impaler fought a bloody war with the Ottoman Turks who invaded his country. After the Ottomans took his capital, support for Vlad melted away, and the boyars he had not yet impaled embraced his younger brother Radu the Handsome. Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror preferred to install Radu, who would be a reliable Ottoman puppet, to outright conquest of the unstable border state. With very few friends in Wallachia, Vlad fled to the Carpathian Mountains. He hid his tracks by turning the shoes on his horse backwards and misleading Ottoman pursuers. While in the mountains, Vlad heard rumors that Matthias Corvinus, king of Hungary, readied for war against the Ottoman Empire. Instead, when Vlad met the Hungarians, they arrested him. Matthias Corvinus had previously accepted large bribes from the Pope in exchange for a promise that he would fight the fast-growing Ottoman Empire. Instead, he decided that the church gold looked better in his treasury, yet Matthias Corvinus still needed to show the Pope some victory. So Corvinus produced some letters claiming that Vlad planned to defect to the Ottomans, which even his court historian judged a probable lie. For years, Vlad remained in prison, though after a time Corvinus allowed him to settle in a house in the city of Pest. While there, a thief fleeing the authorities entered Vlad's house. When the pursuers came in, Vlad murdered one of them. When the courts questioned him about it, Vlad replied that the authorities entered without his invitation, which meant he had the right to murder them. The courts accepted this argument. Vlad also learned that his brother Radu lost the throne, which happened often to Wallachian princes. He begged Corvinus for the chance to retake the throne, and while Corvinus refused at first, he allowed Vlad to seek friends elsewhere. In time, Vlad III began fighting as a Hungarian commander in the Balkans against his old enemies, the Ottomans. By the time he posed for a famous painting around Christmas 1474, Vlad's name had already become famous. Some said that this man with bulging green eyes, bushy black eyebrows, and a sharp nose terrorized the living and feasted beneath the twitching and impaled corpses of his victims. At least so the storytellers said. Finally, Vlad won the support of Stephen the Great, voivode of Moldavia, who gave him 200 Moldavian spearmen. With them, Vlad III persuaded the latest occupant of the throne, Basarab, to leave at Spear Point. Vlad III retook power in November 1476 after 14 years' exile. Yet soon after Vlad retook the throne, Stephen the Great turned stingy, not sending any more men. Basarab, not pleased at being thrown out of power, traveled to meet with Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror and asked for help in retaking Wallachia. Mehmed knew Vlad to be a troublemaker and had a simple solution for trouble. When Basarab returned with 4,000 Turkish warriors, Basarab found many supporters among Wallachian boyars who had no wish for Vlad to restart the war with the Ottoman Empire. Sometime between late December 1476 and early January 1477, Vlad III fought a series of battles against Basarab. His final battle took place near the village of Snagov, where Basarab laid a masterful ambush. There, Vlad fought bravely and died swiftly. Only 10 of Vlad's soldiers survived the battle and reported his death to Stephen the Great. Some time later, a messenger arrived at the court of Mehmed the Conqueror and brought good news. Vlad III, who dared to defy the Sultan and massacred the Islamic faithful, retired from politics and life. To prove his claim, the messenger turned to two men who carried a chest. They opened it and revealed the severed head of Vlad the Third. The delighted Sultan decorated a pike outside the palace with it. Later, other stories spread of Vlad's death. As he became a national hero in Turkish-ruled Romania, some peasants wished to believe that greedy and treacherous nobles, thinking only of their station, murdered the prince. Another story claimed that Vlad disguised himself as a Turk, something he did often in his wars, and that his own men accidentally killed him. This story seems the least likely, for Vlad's soldiers knew full well that he disguised himself as a Turk. Yet what of Vlad's body? Local tradition holds that monks from Kuma monastery found Vlad's corpse, now 8 pounds lighter from the neck up, half buried in a marshland. They gave him a Christian burial on the grounds of their monastery. Yet it is strange that the monks would bury such an important man on their grounds and not place his name anywhere. Since his location is not known for certain, a number of places have claimed to be Vlad's burial place. At least one such site, upon excavation during the 20th century, was found to hold only animal bones. Of course, one of the reasons that so many versions of Vlad's death exist is because this minor prince had already become majorly famous. Vlad the Third only sat on the Wallachian throne for 7 years, but already cast a long shadow in his own time, not only because of the stakes he used to impale his enemies, but because of a new device called the printing press. During his second reign, Vlad the Third targeted a town dominated who tried to defect to the Ottoman Empire. We can probably assume that Vlad's solution to this problem involved impalement. However, this atrocity offended the Saxon homeland, which happened to be the center of the new and fast-growing printing industry. Horrid tales of carnage obsessed readers, like an early form of the horror novel. The more outrageous and sensational the story, the more people liked it and the more copies the printer sold. And that is the reason why we still talk about Vlad the Impaler today. In Romania, he is revered as a national hero who dared to defy the Ottoman conquerors. Outside Romania, he is seen as something close to a horror novel villain. And whatever the truth, Vlad's name will live forever. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.